How about this one? Can you hear me now? Let me switch cameras. Can you?
How about this one? Can you hear me now? Let me switch cameras. Can you? How about this one? Can you hear me now? Let me switch cameras. Can you? How about this one? Can you hear me now? Let me switch cameras.
Okay. I think you can hear me. You should be able to hear me now. All right, let's go back. All right, what I'm doing, let's start over. I'm using, all right, I'm going to do a couple little things. Okay, so first of all, I'm sorry that this is happening. The second thing is I'm using LM Studio. Oh, right there. This one, that way. Okay, LM Studio. Download LM Studio. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Woohoo! Look at that. Kate says she can hear me. Yes. Awesome. Okay, success. All right. Now, we're going to use LM Studio to do all of these things. And the first thing I want you to know is you can download LM Studio. It'll run on your Mac or Windows or Linux machine. It can run on pretty much anything. It's free software. And then I'm going to pull this up and show you some cool things about it. Let's put me in the corner so we can take a look. Over here, once you download LM Studio, you can use it to find almost any open source model. So you can look up DeepSeek, and then you can see here are the DeepSeek models that I'm showing. If you want to look up the Llama ones, here are a whole bunch of Llama, just hundreds of them. You can search them by best match or most downloaded, etc. There are two basic architectures. I don't know about everything, but here, if I click on this, you can see that I have a Apple M1 Mac running 16 gigabytes of RAM, or a total of 10.67 VRAM, virtual unified memory RAM. And so when I do a model search over here, the little green icon shows that it's 4.92 gigabytes, which is lower than my total. So it'll work in there. There's a whole bunch of them. If you just delete everything and hit the most downloaded or best match, it's going to show you. Best match is the Gemma 3 27 billion model or the QWQ, but my machine's not big enough to run that. So I'm going to run the 12 billion or 4 billion model. I'm actually, just to show you how well this can work, I'm running the 1 billion model. And that means it's doing instructions with 1 billion parameters. The 27 billion model takes 27 billion parameters to do the training. This one is just using 1 billion parameters. It was updated about 10 days. It was less than 1 gigabyte. So that's what we're using tonight, just to prove that it works. See, up here in the top corner, Gemma 3 1 billion model. Now, all right, so back to the first thing. The goal here is to create a calendar, a grid of 10 prompts you can use to generate content on a daily basis. So you have 10 themes, a week for each theme, and then you're going to do 10 or 7 different perspectives or angles of that particular theme. So here are the 10 themes we came up with: small wins, reset your routine, find your spark or purpose, reconnect, small steps, rebuilding confidence, embrace the unknown, quietly define, time for reflection and growth, mindset. So I'm just going to build this, and then live for the next 10 weeks, I'm going to go through and just use this to generate all of the content that I do each week. And so we're going to do this live. All right. So I took these 10 things, I stuck it into a spreadsheet, which you can't see because I haven't shared that screen, but I have a spreadsheet now. All right, so now you're back up to speed. The next step we need to do is to create 7 different angles. If you give it too many instructions on how to describe or teach on each theme. Okay, so now it's going to flesh out, and it always does this weird kind of thing where it says each one, right? So we're going to stop. I'm going to redo this. Create 7 angles to describe or teach any topic. And of course, I can't spell in front of everyone, which is cool. Just proves that I'm actually real and not angles to teach any topic. Let's see. I think it might even go back to the deal. Okay, the why, the how, the challenge, the myth or myth busting it, debunking misconception, trending, staying sharp. Number 7, practical tools, perspective, open-mindedness. Okay. Parentheses. I don't know how to spell that. Okay, here's the 7 ones. Boom. Hey, look at that. All right. So now we have the 7 things. I'm going to copy and paste these. And I'm going to put these in a different window here. All right. Now, here's what we do. All right. So here, and now I usually go ahead and create a new one, right? Create a grid. Create a grid. X-axis equals topics. Y-axis equals angles. Topics. Can't even spell. Topics, and then I'm going to copy my list. And then I'm going to say angles, and I'm going to copy the list. Boom. And now it's going to create maybe, oh, that's not it. Okay. All right, I'm going to have to redo this. Okay, so we'll copy this piece. This is right. Copy a grid. And then say Y nope, wrong, undo. I'm going to go back and copy my and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a comma of each one, and I'm going to put it into just one page. So I'm going to reformat this myself so that the tool thinks that it's they're all in one line. Okay. And you can do that in many different ways. I do it like this, and then we hit boom. And then now it should give me, oh, it still screwed it up. Color code, I don't know. No. Let's do it this way. Let's take the first part again, and we're going to create the grid. Let's go back up here to this one. Create the grid, copy that. No. All right, here's the grid, and we're going to do the y-axis is not going to be that. We're going to be x-axis is the topics, and there's the information. Y-axis, which is the one across, equal days of the week. Let's see if it does that. Nope, it's still going to screw it up. All right. I might need to go to a different model to do this, but we will just keep going. All right, let's do paste again. And I'm going to do multi-step here. I'm going to say create a grid. and complete the topics in the grid using the combo angles. I need to copy this one again. And if it doesn't work this third time, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just switch. I'm going to switch the model. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay. Now here's a crazy thing. Okay. So I'm not going to change the prompt at all. I'm just going to train the model where the model has way more information. So it's going to have a better reasoning power. So here is the total. I'm going to switch the model to the 4 billion model, 4 billion instructions. See how it's Gemma 3 to 4 billion instructions. And I'm going to go back over here and check. Let's hide that on the stream. Okay, so now I have that. I'm going to create a new chat, and I'm going to paste this. Watch what happens. We'll see if it actually does it this time. Yep. See, now with the 4 billion instruction model, it's going to put the y-axis across the top, and now it's going to fill in all of the details. Now, when I'm done with all this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and tell it, I'm going to say, hey, model, I want you to create a prompt for a blog post or an article. And then I have another whole set of prompts that I use to create different activities. But you can see how easy it is to create, right? So small wins, right? So let's just do the top row, right? So the x-axis is topics. Small wins is the first one here. I know it's hard to see, but we'll look at that in a minute. Small wins, recognize the why behind small feelings, successes, feeling capable and motivated. All right, that's a decent prompt. How? Practical techniques. Small wins, how? Celebrate and build small wins, create a habit loop. Cool. How do you problem solve small wins? Identify obstacles to achieve small wins and how to overcome them. Myth bust, debunking misconceptions. Debunk the myth that you need massive changes to make progress. That's a reasonable answer. So if you noticed, we are now down to, we have our 10 topics, and I might need to go back in and edit them. But what I wanted to prove or to show you is that you can literally create, all of a content generator in maybe what, 5-10 minutes using AI on a little Mac Mini with hardly, it's an M1 Mac Mini. It doesn't have a lot of RAM. It's not a huge machine. I bought off of Amazon for a couple $100. And now here we are. So what I'm going to do while I'm formatting this into my Google Docs document, actually, let's take those, copy, paste, and we'll just delete all of this. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my studio and I'm going to share screen. I'm going to share another screen. How about if I share the whole thing? Boom. Okay, now we're sharing the spreadsheet. You can see I have lots of tabs open. So if you're like me and you have 100 ideas kind of going all on at the same time, there it is, right? There is a content calendar. A couple things that I do, I always make things go to the side, go to the top, and then that way I can just use them easier. delete the row, emotional connection. We've got 5 days worth of topics. And there you have it. So on, let's say, week 5 in the reconnect idea, why Monday, why emotional connection? Why do you need to reconnect? Understand why you've drifted and what's missing from connections. All right, so I am going to show you exactly. In fact, I'll just do this live in front of everyone. Here, copy. Okay, let's get a new path. Here is the prompt that I use to create. Now, normally I run a pre-prompt, which is a prompt that tells exactly what does writing like Andy Wargadol mean. But I'm just going to guess that it's going to be okay. And no, I don't think I'm sharing this anymore. Let me switch over. Okay, so we're going to go for the first title here. We're going to go to the very first one, Monday. This is the content that's going to show up Monday. Small wins, recognize the why behind. And now I'm going to go back to my screen. I'm going to show you, I'm going to share with you my LM Studio prompt again. Here we go. Now, this is my prompt that I use to write most of my content. You're a social media manager and personal brand consultant. You're an expert copywriter and New York Times bestselling author. Write in the manner and tone of Andy Wargadol. He's an INTJ personality with ENTJ traits. Do not mention the personality type. Remove all double adjectives, adverbs. Write 4-paragraph plus with headers for the article and a title for each paragraph. 8 to 10 sentences in each paragraph. After creating the article, create 10 separate and viral X posts to promote this topic. No hashtags, quotes, semicolons, dashes, or hyphens. By the way, it never does that. It always screws it up. Literally, always screws it up. Always. My ICP, 25 to 55 professionals who feel stuck and want a change in their life. Okay, here's the seed idea. Paste. Recognize the why behind small successes, feeling capable and motivated. 3, 2, 1, go. Now remember, this is a local machine. I'm running Gemma 3 4 billion parameter model, and it's going to do all of the things I just mentioned. It's going to produce a 4-paragraph article, 8 to 10 pages, 8 to 10 sentences each one, and hopefully it'll write like I do. Now I haven't run the Andy prompt on the Andy style guide on how to write like Andy, and it's already done things like I see right here. Here's a colon, right? So there's a colon, there's a semicolon. I don't write with colons or semicolons. I think I just don't. If I wrote this all whatever, but here, I'm going to just narrate this as if I'm narrating it. Momentum isn't built through massive leaps. It's constructed incrementally. Each time you recognize and appreciate a small success, you reinforce the neural pathways associated with motivation and capability. It's kind of like what I would say. Here's what I would actually say. Momentum doesn't happen all at once. It happens over time. It happens step by step. Every time you have a small success, you're going to reinforce that in your brain. You're going to reinforce that you were honest and true to yourself. And that is going to give you that motivation. It's going to give you the capability, and it's going to prove to you that you're being honest to yourself. That's it. Okay. And now it went through and it created all the 10 posts. Watch this. Revise at 6th grade level. You're going to see that this is a lot closer to the way that I typically speak, because my goal is to be effective in my communication. It doesn't matter if I sound cool or smart or whatever. It's way more important to get the message across than it is to sound awesome. Okay, sometimes it feels like you're stuck. I'm going to narrate this. Sometimes it feels you're stuck. You don't feel super motivated or like you're making progress. This doesn't mean you're failing. It just means things might not seem as easy as they used to. It starts with noticing when you don't feel so good about yourself. Maybe you think, I can't do this a lot. But here's the thing, even small successes matter. Finishing your homework, helping someone out, or even getting dressed in the morning are wins. Okay, cool. It's sixth grade level, then it actually went talk to as if the audience is a sixth grader. Sixth grade reading level. I'm going to put sixth grade writing level. To my ICP. ICP is already defined up here, right? So the ICP is already defined. So now it's stopped its detail. Let's go to paragraph 4. The shift you're cultivating isn't a quick fix. It's ongoing practice. Develop a system for regularly documenting micro successes. Okay, I'm going to switch. I'm going to have it go back. Sixth grade writing level targeted to my ICP, which I've already said is 25 to 55-year-old professionals who feel stuck in their life and want to change. All right, so now it's given me, okay, I get it. Right here, the model told me, okay, let's refine this specifically for them who feel stuck and want change in their life. We need to shift the language and examples to resonate with that demographic experience. Coolio. So you've probably been there. The slow drift where you start to question your work, relationships, even goals. It's not a dramatic collapse. It's more like a quiet erosion of belief in yourself and the direction you're heading. You might find yourself saying things like, you just go through the motions or really what I want, blah, 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 blah. It's easy to lose sight of these micro wins. Yeah, true, but I don't usually take that long. So later, I'm going to go refine this with the Andy, how to write like Andy. But this is a lot closer to the way I actually speak. The biggest trap, self-criticism. We magnify our failures, minimize our success. See, this is something that I typically don't do. I don't say, instead, start actively observing your internal signals. That's not a kind of a phrase that I would say. I would say, watch what's going on. Look in the mirror. Find a way to recognize what's happening. So this is close, but this isn't really as close as what I would do. Now let's look at the promo, right? The promo X posts. Feeling stuck in a rut, it's more common than you think. Start noticing the small wins are proof of your capable and potential. Okay, stop dwelling on what isn't working. I don't like double negatives typically, but that's okay. Focus intently on why successful momentum felt good. Data is key to finding your direction. All right, well, I like these posts a lot more than I like the narrative, but it's close. And here's the cool thing. Oh, you can use a local LLM. You don't need the internet. You can do this on your laptop, on an airplane, with no internet, and build content and creation. All of this was done without any internet involved, except for me broadcasting to you guys. And thankfully, now you can hear me. So that's a great thing. But this is how easy it is. It took me 33 minutes, and the first 7 minutes, nobody could hear me. So that's it. And then you can copy and paste this into your tools and how you're actually delivering things. But really, that's it. That's as easy as it goes, with a little bit of prompting, and maybe instead of the lowest model, a higher model. If you've got a machine that's more capable of handling a bigger model with like 27-inch or 27 billion parameters, go for that one, because that's going to give you clearly a better result. But this is a simple, easy way to use an LLM to solve your problems. And so with that, I want to say thank you very much. Thanks for joining. And I will look forward to seeing you another time. I'm going to turn the music back on, hit my little logo. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Nice. Yeah, one day I'm gonna look like that. That's the whole deal. Now we're gonna turn off the cameras. Oh, I lost the music. How about this? I am going to turn on the music, and we are going to go out with the music that I've generated. Almost all this stuff that I'm putting up and showing you guys is stuff that I created with AI, one AI tool or another. And so here, you hear me speaking over the music, but this is the music that I have as my lead-in music and whatever's. But anyway, thank you very much. This is another episode. Well, this is our first one. And hopefully we can do some more of these kind of things to help everybody out. Thanks again. You guys have a great, great day.